The votes in Parliament for passing a deal on Northern Ireland are basically guaranteed to be there. Labour have said that they will back it. It's hard to imagine circumstances in which Rishi Sunak gets a deal from Brussels that Sir Keir Starmer won't support. So he can pass it. But obviously, in reality, the Prime Minister's situation in Parliament is quite precarious on a day-to-day basis. The Conservative Party is very divided. That parliamentary majority, which on paper is still quite big, is in reality a lot smaller. And so if he passes a deal in the teeth of opposition from groups such as the ERG, that could potentially cause him a lot of trouble over the medium term. So yes, if they don't like this deal, he could still pass it, but it could cause him a world of political pain nonetheless.
And crucially, how the different parties respond to this could be an opportunity for Labour. Labour have been trying to talk about other things, and frankly, to some extent, that might well be more where the country is. Does the Prime Minister risk all of the news and fanfare today, the talks with Ursula von der Leyen, does he risk undoing a sense that the country had felt Brexit was done? The sense that Boris Johnson got in 2019, wrapped it all up. Well, now Rishi Sunak seems to be picking it apart a little.
Yeah, to an extent, although, of course, Northern Ireland has continually been in the press without the deal. So I think that's the trade-off for the government, is that people are going to be talking about Northern Ireland anyway. And, of course, successive prime ministers have had to deal with the fact that Boris Johnson didn't really get Brexit done. He got Brexit mostly done, but Northern Ireland was the great unfinished bit of that jigsaw, and someone was going to have to do something about it, and that's what Rishi Sunak is doing. But yet, absolutely, the whole appeal of the phrase "get Brexit done" is that not everyone wants to be fixated on this question forever. The whole point of Brexit was supposed to be that it would allow governments to focus more on people's domestic priorities, and seeing people once again going back to this trough, it could very well alienate people from the government.
Rishi Sunak will need to sell this, and I suppose this is what today is all about. It's overwhelmingly likely that everything about this deal has already been agreed. Ursula von der Leyen isn't coming over with sort of a big ballpoint pen to sort of make textual changes. That's not how negotiations work. The prime ministers or presidents themselves don't do that. Do you think it's likely that this deal was actually done over a week ago? And the whole travelling backwards and forwards from Belfast and sort of speaking in Parliament, meeting with different groups, saying that it hasn't been done, has this all been an act from Number 10?
Yeah, the thing to remember about European negotiations is there are 27 EU member states. It takes quite a long time. It's a cumbersome decision-making mechanism. That's one of the reasons that we struggled with our membership. So, yeah, absolutely. They will have agreed something. They will have agreed it over a week ago. They will probably have agreed the entire thing weeks ago. And the EU negotiators are not going to have gone back to all 27 countries saying, look, we need to fine-tune all of this. No, this deal has been done for a while. I think one of the big problems with this process, actually, is that given the whole thing is supposed to be trying to square unionism and reconcile unionism to the arrangement, Northern Irish unionists have not been in the room, which means that Rishi Sunak actually hasn't presented his deal to the people who need to accept it until it's already sealed, as it were, which is a problem for him if it's not good enough.